with the exception, I guess, of the birth of my children, one of whom's here tonight. This is probably the most extraordinary 6 months of my life. Well, it took a little longer, but this has been a pretty amazing experience all around, from the days that we started here, actually in the Artesian, and all those days out in the cold as the winter dragged on and on, catching collecting signatures. And all the ups and downs from then, and all the responses we got from the people in the city. And I think it's a night for celebration for what we've done, for all we've done together. But I think, before we talk more about that, I think it's also a night for some mourning. Because I think what we've seen is a degradation of the democratic process in our city. We've seen the importation of Republican politics into the job. The robocalling, the sort of simplistic messages of fear. And there's some extraordinary things going on. We talked to the city clerk today, talking about why she would not allow the senior citizens in our cities to have their legal right and the dignity of a secret ballot.
Yes.
She told us it didn't matter, they were just mailing ballots. So there's some very, very troubling things for the future of the city. We would hope that the city will have learned something from this experience, from the reaction of the citizens. But that will be something we will need to be vigilant about in the future, something that very much needs to be addressed in our city. So that's the first issue. The second one, I think the result is quite clear. I don't think there's, despite all of that, I don't think there's all the stories we heard, some of them perhaps mythological, but certainly some of them well documented, of all the irregularities. I don't think that's enough to change this outcome, quite frankly. So clearly that hasn't happened. We haven't stopped the privatization of essential service in the city. I think all of us know this, that these things, the way these things run, is there will be more. This will not be the last of them to be threatened. So we're going to have to continue to be vigilant and continue to fight. I guess if one thing, I'm feeling quite old and maybe a little older tonight than it was yesterday, but I think if there's one thing I've learned in my life is to trust in people and to trust in their essential wisdom and goodness. That's the most important one. But the other one is that the path towards a better society and a better city is never straightforward. There's always lots of twists and turns. The important thing is that you do not get discouraged, that you do not give up. I think for all the days we get feeling very low and very worn down by all the trouble and woe in the world, I think we can say that the general march of us people together, working together, has been forward. It's been towards more democracy, more fairness, more equity. And I think one of the things we've learned in this one is how to work together better. We've built new connections. We have some very extraordinary people who came before us. The citizens who worked with much less resources than we had on the stadium to try and get citizens to vote. And probably most important, I think we need to acknowledge and recognize the tremendous contribution of the people of Island No More made to the issues of water and our place in this environment and in this land, this country where they were here first and know much more about it. So, a big setback tonight, but not the first one. People have suffered, not the first one that we've run into, but we never give up and we always go on, and the struggle will continue. So thank you very much for everything.